Welcome into the video. I am your tech guy, Wayne, and today I want to break down the big differences between the Samsung Galaxy S24 and the S25. I've used the S24 for over a year, so I'm very familiar with it. I've been using the S25 for about 3.5 days, and so I just want to share with you some of the big differences to help you if you're trying to decide if you want to upgrade or not. So let's get into it. So the first thing is going to be the RAM. The S24 has 8 gigs of RAM, and the S25 is going to come with 12 gigs of RAM. So you're definitely going to get a little bit of a smoother experience. Now, I don't do a lot of gaming with my phone, so I didn't see a ton of difference in terms of the speed or the flow, but that is a big difference. And for those of you that game and run apps that require a lot more power, then that extra RAM is going to be super helpful. Now next, number 2 is going to be the storage. Now, I compared the 128 gig models, and so and I'm using the website based on today, and based on today, it's saying the S24 out of the box is going to come with obviously 128 gigs of total storage, but after you subtract the operating system, you're going to get 105.6 gigs of storage. Whereas on the S25, you're actually starting with 99.2 gigs. So if you noticed, it's about a 5 gig difference. Now, let me give you some context to that. The S25 is going to come stock with the new Samsung operating system, One UI 7, and basically that takes up a little bit more space. That's why you get a little bit extra storage on the S24. Now, as of February 7th, you will be able to upgrade your S24 to the One UI 7 update. So we have to assume that once you do that update, it's going to be the same in terms of the storage. But before that update, you're going to get 5 gigs of extra internal storage after the operating system on the S24. All right. If you're getting value out of this video, bump that like button down below. Let's get into the third reason, which is going to be, this is a minor one, but for some of you guys, it might be a big deal. So the Bluetooth support is a little different. The S24 has Bluetooth support up to 5.3, whereas the S25 has Bluetooth support up to 5.4. So a little bit of a newer version of Bluetooth. I haven't looked into the differences, but for those of you that are audiophiles, you'll know the difference. And for some of you guys, it might be a big deal. If so, that's a big plus for the S25. The fourth and main thing is going to be the weight. Now, the S24 is 168 grams, and the S25 is going to be 162 grams. So the S25 is definitely lighter, and I definitely felt that in using it for the last couple of days. You definitely can feel it is slightly lighter, and it's nice to, it's nice to have a little less weight. It's not a ton, but I did notice it. Now, next, I want to go into some specific things that have not changed. These might answer some of the other questions you guys have about the phones in general. So both phones have the same screen. They both have a dynamic AMOLED 2X display, same screen size. The battery is going to be 4,000 milliamp on both. And one note on this, in Samsung's presentation, they basically said that, oh, with the new AI that's built in, even though the battery is the same size, they're saying that the batteries will be optimized so that on the S25, you're going to get more battery life. I'm here to tell you, after 3.5 hours of use, the battery was basically the same. I would charge it overnight, and by the end of the day, around 9 o'clock, I would be at about 12% battery. So far, I'm not seeing any difference in terms of the battery lasting longer with the AI built in. So just keep that in mind. You're really not getting anything new there. The cameras are going to be the same on the front and the rear. They're both going to have Samsung DeX support still. You can plug in direct or do the wireless method. And they're both going to have that NFC built in as well. Now, aside from that, I want to show you a little bit about, so style-wise, obviously the camera rings are a little bit more defined on the S25 than the S24. I didn't add that to my list because that is so minor that it almost doesn't even matter. Now, I just want to show you these phones, putting them side by side. You can see they look so similar. This is the left side of the phone. They did move the antenna, so the antenna is on the left side now versus before it was on the right. Here you can see the buttons are in the same place. Everything is pretty much the same. Nothing really different is happening there. And I want to show you the UI. So you can see S25 is running the new UI, so there's some small differences in the OSs right now, which again, after the 7th, if you do the update, then you'll have all this. But when you swipe up and go to the app drawer, you'll notice that the app drawer on the S24 is a left and right. On the S25, it is an up and down, so that's a little different. Here, when we swipe down from the top of the screen, in the new UI 7, now when you swipe down, it just shows notifications, and you can swipe to the left to get to your notification panel, or you can swipe down from the right side of the top of the phone to get to the notification panel, whereas this is the old school look where your switches are at the top and notifications are down here, and then you swipe a second time to get the full notification panel. So that's another thing. And then you also have this new feature, which on the lock screen, I forgive me, I don't remember the name of this, but you have this new little pop-up for notifications, and it gives you briefings throughout the day. If you follow sports teams, this is one of the really cool things. It'll actually show you like live sports updates, and it will show you live sports updates in the upper left corner of the screen as well. So that's pretty cool. But again, all these features are coming to the S24 as of February 7th. So it's a tough choice, guys. And I'm curious to hear in the comment section down below, for those of you that are still trying to decide if you should upgrade from your S24 or not, it's a tough choice because I feel like not a lot has changed. Again, very, very minor things in terms of the weight, the Bluetooth, the extra RAM, which really only impacts a certain number of people. One thing I will say on a personal note, I've decided to upgrade to the S25 Plus because the Plus has a larger battery and it has a bigger screen. So instead of the 4,000 milliamp battery on the Plus, it has a 4,900 milliamp battery. So I want more battery. To me, that is such a big deal, and that is worth the little extra I'm going to pay. And one note, right now, this could change, but right now, if you're trading in an S24 and you're upgrading to an S25, they're going to give you a $500 trade-in credit. Now, if you upgrade to the Plus, the S25 Plus, they give you $100 more for your S24. So instead of me getting $500, I'm actually going to get $600 trade-in credit, which totally made it worth it. And the S25 Plus is also available in 256 as the base model, and it's available in a 512. So you have a higher storage option and you have a larger battery. For me, those two things were the big deal breaker, and that's why I'm returning my S25 and I'm upgrading to the S25 Plus. So I'm going to link that on screen in case you want to check out the specs on that S25 Plus. And hopefully this video helped you in trying to make your decision of should I upgrade, and if so, to which phone, and obviously helping you compare what are the main differences in these two phones. Now, guess what? There are a few other differences, but what I highlighted in this video were these were the most pronounced differences that matter to me. And so you can check Samsung.com. I use Samsung.com to compare the two phones, and I'm using their specs. But leave me a comment down below and let me know after watching the video, what are your thoughts? Are you considering upgrading after kind of knowing the differences? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you end up upgrading to an if you end up upgrading to an S25 or S25 Plus or Ultra, if you could use my links on screen here or in the description, it helps the channel and I appreciate the support. You can also just bump the like button down below. That also helps to support me making more videos, so I appreciate that. Thanks again for watching, guys. Take care, and as always, have a good one.